Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here, back with another guide for Final Fantasy VII Remake. This time I'm going to show you how to take down Leviathan in Chadley's VR mission. This VR mission comes available to you in Chapter 14 when you return to the Sector 5 slums, so if you haven't reached Chapter 14 yet, don't worry about it, it'll come eventually. Leviathan is a non-elemental summon. That said, he is weak to lightning attacks, so keep that in mind. Starting off the fight, your main mission here is to stagger him. I know that sounds very obvious, but it's something that you want to do. I've had friends tell me that they killed him and skipped the entire final phase, where Leviathan flies around summoning tornadoes, or, water tornadoes, whatever they are. They have skipped that entire phase. This is not one of those attempts. I was not able to do that. Even though this becomes available as soon as you hit Chapter 14, I recommend waiting until you're around level 30 to take this guy down. And the reason for that is because his ultimate ability, Tidal Wave, will more or less one-shot your characters if they don't have enough health. So it's going to deal around 3,000 to 4,000 damage, so you want to make sure that your characters are able to tank that hit, because there's really no avoiding it. It's a mandatory hit. Starting off, Leviathan is going to cast Briny Barrage. I used Barret for the majority of this fight, so knowing that, make sure you have Steel Skin cast on him, this way he doesn't ever get interrupted. Make sure it's always up. With Cloud, I have the Time Materia, and I make sure to cast Haste on everybody throughout the fight as well. Haste does more than you can imagine, and it really does make the difference of this fight. So make sure you have it cast on everybody. I'm not 100% sure if you use the Magnify ability, if this will then cast Haste on multiple members if they're near each other. I actually didn't think of that until just now when I was recording this. So if you do have Magnify, try it with Time. It may work, it may not. I think that might only be for damaging abilities though. Leviathan can also cast Aquatic Focus. This is an ability where he just kind of hunkers down, and then after he's done, he will start to cast Gyre Spume. And this is a big shockwave blast. So when you see Gyre Spume start to cast, you want to back away from him to try to take as little damage as possible. He will sometimes follow that up with Tail Whip, and then he will disappear into the ground, pop back up. In later phases, Leviathan will go up and down through the ground a lot, and the way you can tell where he's going to come up is there will be a little circle underneath your feet, and that's where he's going to pop out of. You want to try to be far away from that circle, because it's not always indicative of exactly where he's going to pop up. As you can see here, a tentacle is coming up with him, and Tifa is going to get hit by something else because she was just sort of in the general vicinity. So you want to make sure that you are far enough away from Leviathan that you do not get bounced up when he comes out of the ground, as you saw there. So at this point, I'm kind of expecting his ultimate ability to come, so I'm just going to heal up really fast, and you do want to maintain about a 75% HP pool. You don't want to go too far below that. When he does cast Tidal Wave, it has a long cast time, so it kind of gives you an opportunity to heal. But if people are low, or if you don't have enough MP on your healer, then you run the risk of dying to the ability. As you saw there, Cloud is able to fly up in the air and attack Leviathan, as is Tifa, but it's not guaranteed 100%. And what I mean by that is, it's not always that they can get up in the air and attack him. Sometimes he's too high, and this game doesn't do a great job of illustrating what that threshold is. So when he's up in the air, I recommend not really even bothering trying to attack him with Cloud or Tifa. Just switch over to Barret. If he has Big Bertha, or if he has learned Big Bertha's ability, Maximum Fury, and you're using a different weapon, go ahead and change that over, and you want to use that while using Barret. You want to make sure you're always expending Maximum Fury with the ATB. That said, I do recommend bringing a range weapon with you with Barret, otherwise he's not going to be able to attack him in later phases. So here you're going to see Tidal Wave. It's going to do about 3,000 damage to everybody. Barret has a 5,200 HP pool, so he's not going to die, but everybody else is extremely low. And as you can see, Barret has no MP left, so I'm going to use a Turbo Ether on him. He's going to get all of his MP back, and then we're going to try very hard to heal everyone up very quickly. Briny Barrage is coming out again. This tends to always attack the character that you are controlling, and what I've noticed is that's just kind of how the aggro system in this game works in general. It'll always go after the character that you're controlling. So he's almost staggered here. We're going to do our best to fill up this pressure meter. We're not going to be successful, but he's very, very close. So at this stage of the game, he's going to start coming out of the ground and just flying around. This is that next phase. So he's going to start casting Briny Bellow. This is a beam that will cut through the whole party. He starts to use this when he's around 60-70%. He can cast it more than one time in a row, and you can roll under this attack. So it's easy enough to dodge, although it can be a little tricky if you're not like paying close attention. He's staggered now, so now we can really start leaning into him. We did that by using Tifa's level 2 limit, yeah, it does a lot of stagger. So what we're doing here is we're controlling Tifa, and we are trying to raise the stagger amount. So using Tifa, you are able to use Unbridled Strength, cast that twice, get her triangle ability up to Rise and Fall, and then using Rising Fall, Omni Strike, and Whirling Uppercut, that will increase the stagger amount of damage. So it always starts at 160, but using Tifa, you can raise it even higher and break 200%. And this means that anytime the boss then gets staggered, he's going to take more and more damage. So you want to keep mashing triangle with Tifa using her bigger abilities. So this is the third phase of the fight, and the boss will just fly around, summon the tornadoes, and he will also keep casting Briny Barrage. So what I recommend here is just take control of Barret. He's the only one who can really reach the boss consistently. Like I mentioned before, Cloud and Tifa can reach the boss, but only when he's low enough, and it's very unclear when that is. He's also moving a lot faster than he appears, so you're probably only going to get 1 or 2 attacks off with Cloud and Tifa if you are able to reach him. Otherwise, he's just going to get away. So you want to then turn Cloud and Tifa into support-style characters, and if you have a summon available, you can go ahead and use it. I wait very long to use summons in this fight. This is actually the third time I had to kill him. I killed him 2 other times, and the footage got messed up, so I just figured, screw it. I can do this myself, so I wait very, very long to summon, if at all. So with Cloud and Tifa as support characters, we're going to recast Haste on everybody, and we're also going to recast Barrier on everybody. This is going to make it so in case he does cast Tidal Wave again, we'll take less damage from it. With Barret, if we have Steel Skin, we can actually stand in the tornadoes and not get interrupted. I don't recommend standing in them for too long, for obvious reasons. They do move around, and they do kind of follow you, so it's important that you try to get away from them as far as possible, but more and more will keep coming up as this phase progresses. Eventually, Leviathan will kind of get tired of flying around, and he will just go back in and sort of repeat phases 1 and 2, where he's using the AoE attacks, the beam, and he's just going to keep doing that. So when he starts getting a little bit more erratic, flying around, he's going to cast Spinning Dive, and then this will indicate that he's ready to restart the phases. So at this point, you want to make sure everybody's healed up all the way, because another Tidal Wave will be coming pretty soon. So he's going to fly around a little bit more, going to cast Briny Barrage again, using Barret. We're able to stagger him 1 more time. So we're going to switch back over to Cloud. We're going to build up ATB. We're going to use any limits that we have, or if you don't have the limit, use Infinity's End. It's going to deal a ton of damage. Switch over to Tifa, cast Unbridled Strength 2 times, start mashing Triangle, raise that stagger meter, and eventually he will drop. Again, I did this around level 30. I made sure to have the time materia, the barrier materia, have everybody with protection and haste, and you'll get through it no problem. No summons necessary. And that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. You can also join my new community Discord server. The link for that is in the video description below. If you're looking for more guides for Final Fantasy VII Remake, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new guides go live. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the blue join button below this video. Don't forget to follow on Twitter and on Twitch, and as always, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hell yeah!